What's up, guys? Relly Lorenzo with podcast number 2 for the Thrive Crunch website. The reason I'm making a number 2 episode is because I was not, I just got blown up there. I was not satisfied with the first episode. I'm thinking that a lot of my YouTube channels, I don't know how I ended up with 4 or 5. I mean, if I really thought about it, I could remember why, how it all happened. But I have 160 something subscribers on my normal personal Gmail account, and then I wanted to try to make this blog thing happen, and I created a new Gmail because of the blog that I created. The blog slash website is called thrivecrunch.com, and I still used my original personal Gmail for personal stuff and keeping in touch with people. But I have like 160 something, man, I'm just doing horrible here. I have like 160 something subscribers there, and I've never really tried to get subscribers. I've always been into making videos, and I've never really tried to go viral or anything like that. But I'm wondering if I should just utilize that channel, or I could make that YouTube channel mainly for gameplay or a specific game. I don't know, but I'm still. I thought by now I would have figured out what to do with each channel. I know one YouTube channel is specifically for workout videos, but I haven't been able to make one of those in a while, and I need to get back on it because I started to get some subscribers. So I need to really stick to one thing. But there's many YouTubers are probably familiar with it. There's those times where, you know, you could be making videos about something else. You know what I mean? A lot of YouTubers, in my opinion, want to try to capitalize uh, different. Maybe I'm an opportunity seeker, but I think that the podcast channel thing, it allows for a different personality, a different side. I know Smith Squad, it's his chance to be more personable and intimate with his subscribers. He could just kind of relax and sip on some coffee and just talk without any kind of pressure, without over editing and cutting and trimming of the video. And iJustine, she has those gameplay channels. She has like vlogs for one channel and extras for the other channel. It's just, I don't know, I think a lot of videographers, vloggers have various personalities, and having more than one YouTube channel is kind of ideal. The Hodge twins have more than one YouTube channel, and I guess I'm going to have one more than YouTube channel, but I don't have the leverage to do that. Really, I really need to stick to one and just keep going and pushing forward with that. But maybe tomorrow I could make a. See, that's the thing. I need to keep a schedule that revolves around my work and my school. Actually, I'm not in school yet. I have like 4 classes until I get my bachelor's degree, and I really just need to knock those out and just kind of prioritize that, and then maybe put these YouTube blogging projects on the back burner. Or I could just actually just had an epiphany. I could start a vlog about my journey to getting my bachelor's degree. Now, that's really gonna be, wow. I'm glad I made this podcast. I'm glad I made this podcast because it's really giving me an idea. And yeah, that's probably what this is, the next couple of weeks is going to be about. Because I could share the struggles and stuff, the how long it took for me to get to my bachelor's degree, and yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I could have other people. I could interview other people. That would be fantastic. I could get some subscribers from it. Um, yeah, just like 5 minutes ago, I was laying in bed thinking about, you know what? I'm out of ideas. I need to try to think of a game to be a platform, start a gameplay channel. And I've done some reading. You actually have to be good or really, you have to respect the game that you're playing. If you're doing a gameplay channel, you have to be pretty good at it and you have to use terminology from that game. But I'm not the biggest gamer in the world, as you could probably tell. I'm getting schooled here on an arcade on a boxing website. Lots of good stuff going on in the NBA. D Rose is clutch. I saw some of the highlights while I was in the sauna, and yeah, it's a weird thing too. Like freaking ESPN reporters really get on my nerves. Not all of them, some of them. I love Jalen Rose. I love Reggie Bush. Jalen Rose is one of the coolest guys on TV right now. I mean, his phrases, they're so 30 something year olds would say. Reggie Miller still uses, cheesy catchphrases, even modern, uh, references. So there's a few guys I like. I even like Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal. Um, what's his name? Chris Bouchard. He said something ridiculous to Paul Pierce. He said something very fanboyish. He said, "Did you call bank? Did you call bank?" Right after he drained a three, and Paul Pierce replied with, "I called, I called game." That was an excellent response, but I could look at Paul Pierce's face, and he looked like, "What? You're really gonna ask me that? You're gonna really ask something so predictable?" I swear, ESPN reporters really they grinds my gears. Even Kenny Mayne is annoying. I hardly laugh at any of his skits. I don't. There's sometimes he's funny. Sometimes he's funny, but for the most part, I'm thoroughly annoyed with the way they annoy athletes. It's because it would annoy me, and it's annoying to watch. I think the coach, I forgot his real name. He does. He's actually pretty cool. I like that guy. Coach. He does commentary and cameos on professional wrestling on WWE. Jeez, on WWE, and he's also works for ESPN. But he's cool. He's cool in my book because he's a WWE guy and an ESPN guy, and yeah. And then I would hear from time to time other ESPN reporters kind of dogging WWE, like, "You gay boy." I mean, nothing against gay people, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, really, you're gonna diss a sport entertainment platform that's been around for decades? You're gonna diss the whole, what Hulk Hogan, what The Rock, Stone Cold, what they worked hard for it. I don't know. There's just a lot of nerds, pencil neck, noodle arm nerds on sports on ESPN, and I don't want to say hate, but I absolutely, really, really dislike them. Just like, I don't know. I guess Mayweather got interviewed by somebody, and the reporter said, I think it was a Showtime guy. The reporter said something about, what did he say? He said he wouldn't want to see a Pacquiao Mayweather rematch, and that he threw in a name that he would rather have Mayweather fight. And I'm like, get out of here, guy. Get off the bandwagon. Get off the FOMO. Quit riding Mayweather. Nothing wrong with being a Mayweather fan, but there's a lot of bandwagoners out there, and they're showing up. They're showing up just like every year. NFL season towards the end, you'll see people sporting, representing the teams that they're suddenly fans of, like around January. December, January, when they know who's going to be in the playoffs, who has a good chance of winning in the playoffs. They'll put on that Ravens that Ravens jersey that they just bought not too long ago from the flea market. And it's part of society. They got nothing else to do. Who else can I talk about? Stephen A. Smith? Yeah, I talked about Stephen A. Smith in the last podcast. I think that he's a good guy. He's smart. He sets a good example for a lot of men, not just, black guys, but just men in general, as far as how to talk, how to carry themselves, what kind of suits to wear, if you are going to be on TV, and just, having some class. But whenever he talks about, whenever he talks about Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, I just cringe. I absolutely cringe. He says Kobe is more clutch. He's a better shooter. Get the hell out of here, dude. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Michael Jordan made it to the free throw line. He made practically all of his free throws. Man, come on. Come on. The era that we're in now, as far as the NBA, is just embarrassing as far as the free throw line. And the free throw line is a huge factor in the playoffs and in championships. They just don't get it. They don't get it. He says he's a basketball guy. He says that he's a boxing guy, but he's had so many. I don't think he's a. He has lots of facts, lots of trivia, but as far as a absolute historian, maybe he's covering too many sports. Maybe he's covering too many sports, and maybe he's not that old. Okay, I think there's a lot of points that Skip Bayless could counter him with that Skip does it that he misses out on. Let me pick up this game here again. I wanted to share some, because I've been trying to get better at this whole podcasting thing. Like, that's me being transparent with you guys. There's this guy, Brian Cassell. Absolutely fantastic website. And yeah, let me share this article with you guys. What do the best podcasts get right? In case you're thinking of starting your own podcast. I'm a total podcast junkie. I just love this medium for publishing content, building connections, and fostering community. A podcast is a mix of topical content, personalities, stories, production value, and one-on-one, one-to-many interaction all in one medium. Part of the attraction to podcasts is their practicality. I can listen to them in the car, on my daily hikes with the dog, when I'm waiting for a train, etc. I just launched my new podcast, Bootstrapped Web, which I spent several weeks preparing. That gave me the opportunity to give lots of thought to this question. What makes a great podcast? What are some common elements that the best podcasts tend to get right? What are some reasons why I might stop tuning in? Here are a few things I came up with. Consistency. Every Tuesday morning, I look forward to a new episode of Startups for the Rest of Us. Every Thursday, it's the Lifestyle Business Podcast. Mixergy is almost every day. Keeping a consistent posting schedule is super important for podcasts. While a blog can be updated whenever there is news or inspiration, a podcast is a program. Podcast listeners have different expectations than blog readers. Keep them hooked by delivering on schedule every time. Structure. Every podcast approaches this in different ways, which is another reason I love Medium so much. No rules. Content, length, segments, topics, advertisement, guests, no guests, and so on. I like it when a podcast establishes their structure and sticks with it for every episode. Again, consistency. It helps me as a listener know what I'm getting into. The first listen is always a gamble, but if I like it enough to stick around for a few more episodes, then I'll know what to expect. Pre-recording preparation. After tuning into so many different podcasts over the years, It becomes clear which one takes time to prepare the episode content beforehand, and which ones just press record and wing it. Some podcasters prefer the latter, keeping it loose and spontaneous, like a couple of friends shooting the shit, and we as the audience get to eavesdrop on their conversation. While this might be okay as background content to an afternoon work session, I tend to prefer something more organized and prepared. We all know of the extensive pre-interviews that guests on Mixergy go through before getting on camera with Andrew Warner. This operation Andrew has put together is truly best in class, and it shows. Others prepare topics, talking points, and interview questions beforehand. Again, it's easy to spot evidence of this because the conversation flows nicely from one topic to the next. No stopping to consider what to talk about next. Vulnerability. There's something special that only a few podcasters do that seems to resonate and propel their game to greater heights than all that rest. That is, they make themselves vulnerable. Podcasting is a very intimate medium. You're really putting yourself out there to the world. It's easy for anyone to stick to a script and cobble together a program, but going off script and showing your true self, your opinions, your insecurities, your emotions is what people will really connect with. Having the balls to say that thing that you might not even tell your closest friends, but blurting it out on the internet airwaves, that's the secret sauce. Mark Marone's WTF podcast is one of the most successful out there. Why? Hold on, check my phone here. Why? Because his brand of comedy is all about his raw, introspective honesty. I need to put my phone down. It's just getting spammed. Listening to WTF, I get to hear about all the insecurities, failures, triumphs, and emotions that a professional comic goes through. And because of the way Marone puts himself out there, his guests put down their guard and get into the nitty-gritty too. Andrew Warner of Mixergy takes it to that special level as well. He often talks about the the mental chatter that all entrepreneurs deal with, the insecurities that come with taking risks and not being afraid of public failure. What do you think? Please comment or tweet me and tell me what you think makes a podcast great. This is a perfect motivational article for me, or blog, because I was struggling with trying to come up with content. I was struggling with, I was going through that psychological battle of they're all gonna laugh at me. They're all gonna laugh at me. Remember that Adam Sandler CD? He had different voices, and one of the voices was just like, I don't know, some old lady, or it's just Adam Sandler, and he actually only has one voice, right? And they're all gonna I'm horrible. I used to be pretty good at impersonating Adam Sandler, but now, since that era is over, I watch Jimmy Fallon, and his Adam Sandler impersonation is on point. I thought that he was the best at impersonations, but then Kevin Spacey and Jimmy Fallon went toe to toe as far as impersonations. I think they did Christopher Walken, they did Johnny Carson, all kinds of celebrities, and that's a definite skill. That definitely takes practice, and if I was able to do it, I would definitely utilize it in my podcast. So yeah, I have about 2, 3, 4 semi podcasts posted up, but if I were to post everything, there would be about 20, 25 podcasts. I probably should have kept them on my desktop. Maybe I could have used them as extras, but gotta roll with the punches. You can't post everything, or maybe you can. So yeah, like I said earlier, a couple minutes ago, I was thinking about what game I should get, because it's easier to be doing something while talking. Like for me, if I'm walking, it's easier for me to just start talking, start getting the creative juices flowing. Even if I'm riding the bike, uh, I could just start talking easier. It just flows better. I even speak better grammatically. But when I'm sitting here, which is what I'm doing now, then the topics don't surface as quick for some reason. So maybe it's the dopamines and endorphins. I think that's why gameplay videos are kind of popular right now on YouTube. It's just when you're doing something and while you're talking, when you're doing something, it's easier to talk, in my opinion, because it relaxes you. And if you're just sitting there not doing anything, then all you're thinking about is talking. Just like when I'm studying, I need background noise and to get that studying going. So yeah, even when I'm riding in a car, or especially when I'm riding in a car, if I'm in the passenger side and I'm with someone pretty, that's a close buddy or someone I'm cool with, I could just talk and get my chat on for a while. Even if I'm not comfortable with talking about every single topic, I could quickly think of another topic or transition to another topic that I feel safe talking about. And yeah, maybe maybe that's one reason people like to do video blogs while they're driving, which I do not recommend because I don't want you to die. Dying, it's not that it's not good unless you have infinite lives, unless you're on Contra. What game should I get if I were to turn my whole podcast thing into maybe I should stick with Blast Billiards. Maybe I should go to the store tomorrow and think of or look for a game, a cool game that I could play while podcasting, talking, bumping my gums, running my mouth, using the gift of gab, or developing the gift of gab. I don't think I was born with the gift of gab. I remember in my early years, I was not a talker in school. Maybe because I had issues like with the language, the English language. And then I had issues with the Tagalog language. I just forgot about it at some point in my life. I just started speaking English. But I remember like second grade, I think I got put in a corner either for clowning or talking too much. So maybe I'm an introvert with extrovert tendencies, or I'm an extrovert with introvert tendencies. Give you all a little background. I played this game 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 10 years ago. When I started on boxing scene was 2006. So that was almost, yeah, I've been playing this game for about 10 years and I still am horrible at it. Maybe I shouldn't get a gameplay, but I'm not even really trying that hard. That should be an easy shot. I'm actually pretty good in real billiards, or I could get in the zone. I just have trouble staying focused throughout the whole thing. I get lucky sometimes too. I get the basics down. I think it's cute when girls are not good at pool, and I also think it's sexy when a girl is good at pool, like really good. But when they're fumbling around and not holding the stick properly, I think it's kind of cute. But at the same time, I think there's a certain confidence and coolness when a girl is able to shoot pool. They carry a swagger, but I guess that's for guys and girls. If you're good at something, it looks better. Come on. Okay, I'm probably gonna sign off here in a minute. I've passed the 20-minute mark. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I had trouble reaching the 20-minute mark with other past podcasts.